कि ये हकीकत है, मैं मुस्तफिद हूँ, मैं कुछ और भी मुस्तफिद हूँगा कैसेट से। अच्छा, और दूसरा एक मसला है कि आजकल खुसूसन पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो सख्त रवैया अख्तियार किया गया है, और जो पाकिस्तानी जो गैर अहमदी मुसलमान हैं वो अब चाहते हैं कि हम अहमदियत अख्तियार करें, उसमें शामिल हों। और आजकल के दौर में आज से 1400 साल अगर हम पीछे चले जाएं, और 1400 साल का दौर और आज के दौर में काफ़ी सारा फ़र्क है। हर इंसान चाहता है, उसका फ्यूचर होता है, उसने खाना होता है, कमाना होता है, यानी बगैर खाए पिए वो रह नहीं सकता। और बगैर,
जबकि 1400 साल पहले बगैर खाए पिए रह जाते थे।
नहीं, 1400 साल पहले भी खाए पिए जाते थे, मगर उसका वो दौर और आज के दौर में काफ़ी सारा फ़र्क है। हर शख्स की ख्वाहिशात होती हैं कि मैं एक अच्छी ज़िंदगी गुजारूं, काबिल इज्जत और काबिल एहतराम जिंदगी गुजारूं।
और जो 1400 साल पहले का दौर था
जी,
वो उससे 1400 साल पहले के दौर से मुख्तलिफ था कि उतना ही वैसे ही था? बिल्कुल
यकीनन मुख्तलिफ था।
हाँ,
यकीनन मुख्तलिफ था।
और जो उससे पहले 1400 साल यानी रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के जमाने से 2800 साल पहले का दौर था
जी,
वो मुख्तलिफ था कि नहीं?
नहीं, वो ये हकीकत है, यकीनन मुख्तलिफ था। मगर मैं जो अर्ज करना चाह रहा हूँ ना,
अरे अब बात वाज़ी होगी। नाउ यू कैन आस्क योर
जी,
क्वेश्चन।
तो वो मैं ये कहना चाहता था कि अगर कुछ हम ज्वाइन करता है, उसमें शामिल होता है जमात अहमदिया में, तो उसकी हर तरक्की की राहें मसदूद हो जाती हैं पाकिस्तान के अंदर। खुसूसन वो किसी भी कलीदी ओहदे पे नहीं जा सकता, किसी भी कलीदी तालीम, कलीदी यूनिवर्सिटी किसी में, उसमें उसको हमेशा हर जगह पे पीछे रखा जाता है। तो इसके बारे में आप क्या फरमाएंगे? क्योंकि अब एक यंग जनरेशन है, हर वालिदैन की भी यही ख्वाहिश होती है कि हमारे बच्चे जो हैं हम वो पढ़ें, आगे जाएं।
लेकिन you first of all you better determine this question as applied to the time of Rasul Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam and find out whether your statement is in effect correct or wrong. You attempted to establish a difference between the situation today and the situation at the time of the Holy Prophet. Thereby, you indicated that perhaps it was not so difficult for the people of that time to accept a prophet of God and yet survive the trials and tribulations of the time because of the animosity and hostilities unleashed towards him. Now the situation is very different, so it has become very difficult. This is not true. This is not true because not only at the time of the Holy Prophet of Islam, peace be upon him, but from the times immemorial, we know that whenever anyone claimed to be a prophet of God, he and his followers were persecuted to the maximum of the ability of their opponents. And they were not spared in any manner of speaking. Sometimes they were turned out of their homes, their properties were looted, sometimes they were murdered. All the livelihood or the means of livelihood were denied them. They were deprived of all possible chances of survival. So to say that things are more difficult today than previously is wrong. It is so wrong that when you compare the facts with the facts earlier, the facts of the time of the Holy Prophet of Islam, peace be upon him, you will be surprised to learn that the situation there was much more difficult and uglier than the situation today.
Yes.
Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam, along with his companions, were interned in a valley which is called Shaib Abi Talib. And for 3 years they were totally boycotted. There was such strong economic boycott that the Arabs of all tribes had vowed that not even a piece of date will be permitted to penetrate, to go through this barrier and reach the Holy Prophet and his followers. So if that is not, the total deprivation of means of livelihood, then what else is? Yet they survived that. They suffered, of course. Some of them died in that privation. But They survived and survived as victorious ultimately. So that is the message to man. For a noble cause, sometimes he has to suffer, and as such he should be brave enough and man enough and have faith in God. Because he suffers for the sake of God, who is a live thing, not a dead idea, but a live, the most powerful thing that can be, that always will be. So when you suffer for somebody who is powerful, then you expect something in return too. And that reward is not only limited to the hereafter, to after death, but that reward is more, always, without exception, provided which it comes to you, is given to you in this life, after a few years of patience and suffering, of course. So these people who are deprived of all their human rights and economic rights, etc., they become ultimately the possessors of everything. That is what happened in Arabia, that is what happened everywhere else when the phenomenon of prophethood was unfolded.